Good afternoon. We are live again, I believe. Let's see, so this is take 3 on going live via Zoom, and it has been a bit of an experiment. I know I keep saying that because it still is. And we're going to get it together pretty soon. It's just like starting anything new. There's just a few little challenges that happen along the way, and you guys have been super patient with me. I haven't gotten any hate messages about the clumsiness of this whole process. So, so we're going to hope that it is going okay. I can't exactly hear myself over there on Facebook, although I'm going to just bring it up on my phone and see if we are actually live in Facebook. I know that if people comment, I have not been able to read them via Zoom, but I do have the phone up, and so hopefully that will help facilitate any comments that come through while we're talking. So anyway, again, default is if it doesn't work, then I will post the link to the Zoom video a little bit later. Hoping that you guys can hear me. I do have my headphones on, so Anyway, so I wanted to talk a little bit about cravings and comfort food. So I know for me lately, I've been really craving to one is, and the other one is a croissant. And the question I had to ask myself was, why do I want these things? What's going on? I've gotten to the point in my journey where I don't actually give in into those cravings, which is kind of surprising because particularly it's been going on for a couple of days, particularly the K-pop one. So why the K-pop? And that's really what I've had to kind of ask myself. Am I actually hungry, or is there something else going on with me? And what I have figured out is there is something else going on. In the first case with the K-pop, that was a couple of days ago, it turns out that it was actually hunger. It had been a few hours since I had anything to eat. And so I'm like, yeah, probably don't need the sugar burst, but probably actually need some nutrition. So I delayed, and then I finally got something that actually provided some nutrition. Why am I telling you this? Because sometimes if we're running and gunning, super busy, we may desire something that is not necessarily the best for us. And so being aware, being in tune to when those cravings come for you could be something that would help you in terms of managing your overall weight. And then just your health in general. It's not always about the weight. And so, but what about the croissant? What was up with the croissant? So that was something that actually just came on today. And what's really cool about croissants? They're really yummy. They're warm. There's a lot of fat in them. Just enough salt, so kind of, that good combination. And so what I figured out that I wanted there is that, wow, I've got a lot going on. I've got a lot of things happening, a lot of moving pieces. And somehow in my mind that, and in my heart, that croissant was going to solve all of my problems. So that's not always the case, because while croissants are yummy and good, and they do actually provide some benefit in terms of making us feel full, and not exactly the ideal situation in terms of having something that's nutritious. So again, so craving. So those were the first case with the K-pop, that was actually hunger. And the case with the croissant was actually comfort. So what I'm asking for you guys to do is to consider the source of the craving. What do you want, and why do you actually want it? And to the extent that you can start kind of maybe even keeping a diary, put a note in your phone, put a note in your calendar as to why these things come up for you and when they come up, and that can be one tool that you can use to try to change some of the things that are going on in your diet. It may not necessarily be the best for you. It may not necessarily help you reach your goals. And may not be the things that are ideal. So how can you tell? You can tell again by preparing a diary, or writing some notes in your phone so that you are become more aware, more conscious. You're a more conscious consumer of actual food and snacks and whatever else it is. Maybe you see just something that you're drinking. Maybe sometimes you want a soda. Maybe sometimes you want coffee. Maybe sometimes you want a milkshake. So again, this is all about being a conscious consumer of food. And then lastly, do you give in or not give in? Now, if you can make the determination that it really is not something emotional, then, and it's just like, hey, you know what? I haven't had this for a while. I have had enough to eat. I'm not tired. I'm not really feeling bad or feeling particularly good. Just, I just actually want this. Then by all means, go for it. But I would caution you to do that too often because again, that's going to go counter to your actual health goals. So that is pretty much it for today's deep dive on our regular Wednesday live. I do thank you so much for jumping on always. And I want to wish you optimal health and bountiful wellness. And we're going to try this again in the morning. I'm hoping that this is not as skippy as we were in the morning, meaning that the video is not skipping as much. I'm going to see. I just talked to Zoom today, so I got a few tips from them. We'll give those a try in the morning, and if either of those work, then we'll have to go on to another option or figure something else out. Okay. So thanks again so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Love you. Have an amazing rest of your day. And again, wishing you optimal health and bountiful wellness. Thank you for watching. All right. Bye-bye.